Hello Gearslutz, I'm François from Shakmat, live from Superbooth 2019, and we're here to present a new model line, and we're starting now with the Aeolus line, which is a quadraphonic dedicated spatialization models. So we have the Aeolus seeds and the Aeolus mixer. Aeolus seeds is a quadraphonic spatializer with it's a full analog signal path, 4 VCAs with a digital modulation source that drives a 4 VCA. So what you can do with the model simply is you can have 4 inputs or a mono input, everything is normalized, or it can be mono, stereo, or quadraphonic inputs. You have 4 outputs and a sum output for vector synthesis application. So basically you have a set of different modulations. So let's go with the first modulation sets, which is a quadrature LFO. So you're modulating the 4 VCA with a quadrature sine. You have the depth parameter, which acts like a depth in a tremolo. The potentiometer can give you this potentiometer, the time potentiometer, give you the speed of the modulation. If it's on this part of the potentiometer range, it will go in time direction and the counter direction in the other sense. You have a freeze option at the middle. Other modulation sources are like a square LFO, which means you can switch still with a depth happening. You have also a pingable envelope, so it will ping envelope all around you in the quadraphonic space with a decay of the envelopes. You have also a random function that can be like a sample and hold in this position or act as a slew random in this position. You can still freeze in the middle. You have also a granulizer, which is a bit as the same granulizer as we got in the Gemini, so creating small window of amplitude. And you have also the XY function, and still you have the CV inputs that can bring any modulation source to just modulate the X and the Y. You have also the configuration options, which acts on the way the speakers will behave. Do you want to make a wall turn around the audience, or do you want to cross like a diagonal, the other diagonal stuff? You can use it as a dual stereo front back, and dual stereo with a diagonal modulation. You also have a CV out. CV out can be configured to deliver different signals, like the distance from the center, which can be useful to close filter or get you reverb wetter when the modulation is getting a signal very close, very far from the center, sorry. You can also have the angle, the X parameters, the Y parameters, the first modulation, or the sum out. Finally, you can also sync the modulation to an LFO, and you have all the division from divided by 8 to multiply by 3. And you have also a time range button which acts on the time range, so you can go to very slow modulations or very fast modulation if the time range is not engaged. And it also acts with a sync on a divide by 4 before the division and multiplication of the time, meaning you can do like word ratio of multiplication and division to have your modulation. The Aeolus mixer is a solution to mix several quadraphonic signals together. So it's kind of quadraphonic utility module. We have 4 inputs, quadraphonic inputs, 1 quadraphonic output with 5.1 capabilities with a sum for the sub output, a center output with a gain compensation for the 3 speakers for the front to keep the level correct regarding the front and the back. And you have also 2 stereo inputs, and the second stereo can be crossed, meaning the left will go to the 1 and 4 speaker, and the right will go to the second and third speaker. So you're crossing your stereo in a way. Everything is normalized. You can enter a mono signal in there or mono signal in there, and everything will be normalized to the other inputs.